So if you've just bought the Insta360 Go 3 or you've had it for a while and you're still having fun with it and you want to learn a little bit more about it, this video is for you. This video is about my top settings. Not only settings that I changed when I first got the camera, but settings that I sort of applied as I got to learn to use this on a daily basis. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe, press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads, because we've got plenty of content not only on the Go 3 but on all action cameras in general. We've got the DJI Action 4 I'm working on other videos for now. We've also got the GoPro 12 on the way, just been released today actually. Ordered it, it should be here by the middle of the month, so we can compare that to other cameras like the X3, the DJI Action 4 and the Go 3 to see how it sort of stacks up. It looks like it's got some interesting features, so those videos should be good. So my number one feature that I change is the customizable buttons within the menu. If you go into the menu of the Go 3, you can actually customize not only this record button on the top, but the record button on the front of the Go 3 standalone camera. And you've got two options for both of these buttons, so effectively 4 different customizable buttons. For a single press on the top record button on the Action Pod, I have it set on 2.7K 30 frames per second, and then a double press I have it on 1440p 60 frames per second, just for some different kind of footage depending on what I'm going to be using it for. When I've got the Go 3 on me like that, I just use the single press 1440p 30 frames per second and then double press 1440p 60 frames per second, and that's what I do personally for my customizable buttons. And that's the first thing I set up because it just makes shooting a lot quicker, a lot easier, and you get the frame rates and the resolutions that you want with just a click of a button. So go into the menu, change your customizable buttons. As far as audio goes, the audio on this is like really good. I have the setting for the audio set on wind reduction, and that just helps reduce a little bit of that wind noise if you do have it. There are other options, but that's the option that I've found to work the best when it comes to the audio quality. Today's probably not the best day to sort of test it. It's literally silent in these woods, apart from the people talking in the background. So yeah, it's very quiet, so probably not the day to test it for you, but overall I found the audio quality to be really good. Next, what I do, I turn this little blinky light off. You can go to general, scroll down, and you can turn the light off. I keep vibration on so that when I press the button it vibrates. I know it started recording, but I turn that light off because if you're using it, for instance, in like a creative dark scenario, you can see that light blinking and it kind of wrecks a shot. You can see it in a mirror, or you can see it in some kind of darker scenario like the fridge or something like that. If you're doing a creative shot, you can see that light blinking. So that is the next thing I turn off. I turn off the blinky lights. Another option I really do fully recommend that you change is put the bitrate to high. That just helps you get the best video quality out of this camera. So yeah, there's a couple of options, but again, bitrate on high. And then I really do like putting the sharpness down. Instead of getting that like GoPro action camera kind of look where it's quite a sharp image and everything's quite sharp and contrasty, reduce the sharpness down to medium or low, and that really does help with a nicer, more pleasing image with the Go 3 overall. So yeah, sharpness down to medium or low, that's another setting that I do change. Next, I swipe down from the top of the screen and I press this little rocket in the main menu. That little rocket is quick capture. What that means is when you press the record button while the camera is turned off, it will start recording straight away without having to hold the power button down to turn the camera on first and then press the record button. You can simply just press the record button and it will quick capture what you want it to capture, and that's a lot quicker way of getting some shots when you don't want to miss them. You're trying to film something that's flying by, press quick capture and it will start recording straight away. So that is probably one of the first things I change. Put that on, make sure quick capture is turned on. The other setting I like to have on as a fly lands on the camera, the other setting I like to have on is the grid lines. That really does help with sort of framing up your shot, especially if you've just got it facing forward, getting the horizon perfectly level with those grid lines on there. It does help. So that's one of the things I do like having on. I have that turned on most of my cameras. I just find it a thing that really does help, especially if you're doing like a time lapse or a hyperlapse, keeping the center figure right in the middle, and you can change the rule of thirds and use the grid lines in different ways, but they are very handy when it comes to all sorts of different video shots and photography shots as well. So yeah, that's one setting I'll turn on first. Next, what I do is turn auto sleep and auto power off off. So I turn them off in the menu because I found that the battery life is so good. If I'm going out for some kind of family day out, I tend just to turn this on and leave it on, and then it's ready to record and whatever. You can use quick capture, of course, but I just like to have it on, ready to go immediately. The battery's brilliant, up to 170 minutes in my testing in the studio environment. I've got about 152 minutes in 2.7K 30 frames per second, so the battery's fantastic. So what I do is I turn those two features off. I don't find it makes that much a difference to the battery life. So yeah, that's one of the things personally I like to have turned off within the menu. So the final setting I really would fully recommend you change when you get the camera is to change the field of view to linear, especially if you're vlogging with this, like this kind of look. The ultra wide and the wide on most action cameras can be a little bit warped, but the linear is really good to get that natural field of view with no distortion in the image, and that's the field of view that I think looks best. It's really wide anyway, it looks very good. I'm literally holding this camera out slightly in front of me with my elbow in my body, and it's the perfect field of view. It really is. So those are my tips, my bunch of settings that I recommend you change when you first get this Go 3. It's an amazing camera, I love it. There's so much fun to use, there's so many creative options, so make sure that you do buy it through the link in my affiliate links down there. That really does help this channel grow. Give this video a like, subscribe, press the bell, all those YouTube things, and appreciate you watching. Hope it helped. Let me know if you've got any more questions down below, and I'll answer as many as I can. Okay, well that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.